Women in early Toronto hip-hop in the 80s that we're talking about, where would you see them?
My biggest battle and my claim to fame and, would be battling in the UTFO contest. And Ron Nelson had a contest where if you put together a rhyme and stuff like that, send it in, you would get to open for UTFO when they were in Toronto. So I went up there and I was like totally confident because I didn't see any other women there and all that, and I figured I got this. Then they brought this guy called Maestro Fresh West. And, I was like, this little boy can't do nothing. 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 So I'm from Saga. So got up there and started rapping and everything like that, and it was amazing, and at least I thought. And then Maestro went up and had a beatbox. I didn't have a beatbox, so he won. But technically, I mean, if you ever, I won. I won. So I mean, back then it was about fun. It was about having a good time. It was about getting out there and getting yourself exposed and stuff like that. And I just want to personally, and I say this to her all the time, I want to give a shout out to Missy, because Missy was a little youth back then. I remember going to like the beat and seeing Missy on stage and going, yeah, this girl's gonna do it. This girl's gonna do it. Keep it. Yeah, she wasn't allowed in. But I remember seeing her up there and just totally representing. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her contributions and all the rest of the ladies here. And to see how far female hip hop and MCing has gone in Toronto. We really need to get it out there and let everybody know that we are here. We are here, and we can hold our own. And I just want to close with, back in the 80s, you had the LL Cool J's that used to come to the concert hall and couldn't sell it out. He was like, I'm never coming to Toronto again because you guys are whack. I rapped with Houdini. All the Americans used to come here to try out their stuff on us. And when Houdini came in, we were rapping, they were doing friends, how many of us have them, let's be friends. And my guys were like pushing me up, it was like the body weight pushing me up. Next thing you know, I'm on stage and I'm rapping with Houdini. Those were my memories, good memories, So it's just, I'm very proud of where we are, and we got to keep it going.
Yeah. The name dropping and what you're expressing right now is really important, because something that a lot of us out here have always talked about is that everybody knows about Bam, everybody knows about Melly, everybody knows about Grandmaster Flash, everybody knows about the foundations of hip hop from NWA, etc. in the States. What has been lacking up here up to this point is real knowledge of our story, our stories, as Dalton was saying, up here. And these are names and places and dates that we should just know, that should be taught, that kids should know. Yeah, I know about Lady P. You know what I mean? I know about Clue. I know about, all of the above.
Canadian phenomenon, though?
It's definitely a Canadian phenomenon.
Of that playing like the stepchild?
Yeah. So I think that this is so what it's like gold right now. And just moving on quickly over to Mish, we talk about battles. Give us a little, we're not battling yet. But you definitely came up in a time in hip hop when battle was the key to get heard, known. You know what I mean? To basically make who you are.
Know that
people
New York was big,
right?
Mecca of hip hop. I really thought Toronto was, and that's another thing that was in growing up when you're 14, and we were at Latin Quarters with the fake ID, and I was in front of Latin Quarters in Manhattan visiting families, visiting the Bronx. Wasn't me. And they didn't, and I was with, I seen Scott LaRock and them outside, and we hadn't seen each other in the Bronx, so when we seen them in Latin Quarters in Manhattan, we're like, yeah, what's up? And I was trying to tell them that I rap. And they're like, you don't rap, you talk funny. I rap, it's hip hop. Where you from? Canada. Hi, Canada. They call me Canada. And then I started speaking Jamaican. No, she speaks Jamaican. And I think it was because I spoke Jamaican why they even let me rap. because if I didn't have another accent, they would have been like I sounded like everyone else. So they gave me the confidence to actually want to stay in the game because I came back to Canada like I was shit. I had jingles, I had cassettes because there was no mainstream radio, so I was selling cassettes. I would record New York radio and come to Jane and Finch and Triple and sell that shit. And sell jingles, sell MCM hats, sell the little whatever, and just hustle. And in turn, they made me get into the battle. And after the battle, well, I didn't have a DJ. First of all, let me back up a bit. I didn't have a DJ. My crew was BA Squad. It was me, K-Force, and Alex, and LA Love. So LA Love was K-Force's DJ, and then when the group broke up, it was just LA Love and I left. So then we said, okay, that was the first time LA Love actually became my DJ, was for that battle. And then since then, we figured we would just start the entire Beat Factory movement, because Eikenberry already had the R&B traffic jam happening down at the Bamboo, and we were just trying to prove that hip-hop was a genre of music and it wasn't disco. And it was actually going to be enable live performances, because the Bamboo was like the only place that was opening the doors to hip-hop, and then became concert hall.
Most of the successful quote-unquote female hip-hop artists did not write. So, hold on. So where was their voice to begin with? She's talking about the unheard voice.
Who's the person? Yeah, Let me finish.
So how come when they do leave their so-called camps, they're not promoted the same way? Yo-Yo, Kim, Boxy, Remy, Shauna, Da Brat, Mia X all had proteges. But their male counterparts are filthy rich right now, and most of these sisters are question mark, right? And that is by
they left their name?
the one and only Heather B.
What? Heather B? Heather B? What?
You know why she said it? You know why she said it? Because the game, you gotta understand, everybody's playing the game. Now listen, when hip-hop came into the infrastructure, right? A lot of people were writing for, like, say, I said for Janet Jackson. So the game was built up of people writing for Janet, writing for things. So if you're a feat, writing for En Vogue. Now, I came out with En Vogue and Light. And Atlantic Records didn't know what to do, how to release like 7 black women at one time. Okay? So you had writers that they already had signed publishing deals, and we know how that game's played, right? So they were already writing for people. So when hip-hop came into the game, they assumed the women would need writers. So the counterpart, the people that were writing for those women that you mentioned specifically were in the game prior to them, and a lot of the women came to the camps because they could get the lyrics and they can get distribution, they can get a single actually out. The raps that they were writing just weren't being released. So it's not to say that they weren't writing, any of those artists. The singles that were actually released were written or co-written by some of the things. So I don't like when they say that women don't write.
There's sexism, right? But there's classism. I came from the suburbs. Right? I had I was Cosby Show, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming into the hood, right, at this university station, and I'm killing it. I'm destroying people. And then the first thing they asked me was, who writes your rhymes? And I'm like, I read books, dude. I take jazz ballet class, I watch films, I take drama class, I go cross fucking see. What? Honest to God, and I think so. It's one thing with the industry, because there's a lot of male R&B artists, there's a lot of artists, period, that don't write their stuff, don't own their publishing, and get pinned. So I don't think that's a female or male thing. It's the infrastructure of the industry, right? But to even know as an independent artist that females always have to validate whether or not they wrote their stuff. Nobody said, did Nas write his lyrics? Nobody asked Nas if he wrote his lyrics.
A lot of men don't write all this shit.
Okay, then. The term ghostwriter was not created by a female.
I wanted to battle LL.
I wanted to add on to what you're saying right now, because when I was coming up, because I came up under you too, I was watching you coming up too, and I have 3 brothers, so for me it was never about being a female MC, it's about destroying people. That's why I didn't want to be a female MC, and no offense to females in the game, but like, I think you nailed it. It's being an MC is being an MC, point blank, end of discussion. I think what happened was, because you're a female, it's like, oh, you're the female LL. No, I'm just ill.